Oh my goodness, happy Saturday. I'm out of YouTube jail. I posted a show that I was a guest on with permission from the owner of the show, and I got what they said may have been a copyright something, and I couldn't post for a week. So excuse my face. As you all know, I'm also a medical aesthetic person. So I walk my walk when it comes to skincare and education. So I just did a medical peel. So I'm shedding. Somebody actually made fun of me today and said something like, "Were you a snake in your past life?" And I'm like, "Yes." And all my shadow work is coming up and I'm shedding. And actually, this is real, but it's also a metaphor for what we're doing for our emotional body. We're really using tools to, empty out that emotional body that's been, every artery has been clogged running into the emotional body on every lifetime, on every line, and it's here in the now to be cleared. So, they call it your shadow work, whatever it is. It's just things that you have hidden that you might not be aware of, are really referred to as your shadow. Karmic stuff that you haven't worked through so that you can come to a place of neutral and forgiveness, and let it go and not carry it anymore in the physical, in the mental, in the etheric, in the spiritual, and especially in the emotional body. So right now, with all the energies that are just insane, and then we're hearing more about them being insane because we have more tools accessible to us, to the public. So there are many people who project out the CMEs and S-Claire flares, zippity doodah flares. So there's a lot of things happening with the planets and the sun and so on and so forth. And you hear a lot of people talk about the beings being here, many different beings, many different species here, flooding the area with energy just from their presence, by the way. It's sort of like what's coming to mind right now is when someone can walk into a room and they just light it up. Their energy just lights up the room, and it's a magnetism and you're drawn to it. And so it's kind of like that with all the beings that are here right now, just having their presence in our atmosphere is assisting a lot of change. And some of the visitors are no good. They're just here to observe and maybe wreak a little havoc or sneak in when your energy's low. And that brings me to another topic. So right now, with the veils being super thin and having all these migrations of different flocks, different folk, consciousness in ships, in energetic bodies, whatever it is that they're out here getting through and being in our presence in this atmosphere. If we are lowering our resistance to positivity and our resistance to expansion and our resistance to heart opening because we feel very vulnerable in some of these places, it is hitting our physical body. So you're hearing about people who are, one day they're fantastic and the next day they've got something that's just really bizarre. And that bizarreness requires some medical attention, possibly some tests and maybe some procedures. Some can be overcome, some bring a lot of anxiety and angst, and then they turn out to be negative. But there's a lot of this heightened, going from 0 to 100, created energy that is happening. And so some of them are just a tap, hey, pay attention to this physical avatar because everything is housed in there. Maybe you've been ignoring some things in the attic or the basement or the back of the closet, or perhaps you're just walking by the pile because you just can't face it. So I'm here to tell you, take the time to tackle some tasks. Take some time to tackle some tasks. And just start with one thing. It could be, I'm going to do all the laundry, and when I do all the laundry, I'm literally going to get it from the washer to the dryer to fold it and put away. Hung up, put away. I'm going to complete that task, right? I'm not going to set this down here, pile on top of pile of it. I'm going to put it where it belongs from the get-go, right? So as we're wiping out our cupboards and cleaning out our cabinets and all the things that we may have around that we've accumulated because we've been running to and fro and we've had the attitude, I'll get to it later, isn't serving. Nor is the pattern of everything has to be this way or I cannot function. Because then you're taking away from your adaptability and flexibility to pick and choose versus being run and governed by that part of the brain that has to have everything in this, or you're going to go insane. So you're not allowing expansion, right? It's just like belief systems that are out there right now. There's a lot of information coming through that begs to differ with what you've learned in the past. And there are some people who are going to take what I call the sumo wrestler position. And that's when they drop and the big belly's out and they're already like, no one's coming through my belief system. Yeah, buddy, right? So we want to get ourselves unsumoed and get out of that position. And so I'm seeing a branch on a tree and the wind blowing right now. So the tree is solid and anchored, but its branches have to move and give and bend. But the trunk of the tree isn't going anywhere, right? It's still safe and sound and attached to the ground. So know that the core of you might need a little bit of tweaking so that you can anchor deeper. And then you can broaden your horizons a little bit. And then you can allow for your branches to just move with the breeze. You don't have to own all the information that you're hearing, but you don't want to dismiss it as an absolute bald-faced lie. Or you Google something and then you believe everything freaking Google is telling you. And again, it's all programming of things that don't serve you. So one of the biggest tests and lessons right now is, can you let go of all of that and still get to know your own identity and who you are in the me, myself, and I of the universe? Who am I? Well, the first thing you have to understand is you are the commander of this ship, This is the one and only thing, I have two fingers up, the one and only thing you have any control over. You can deprogram yourself and have control over bringing things from the unconscious to the conscious and sorting through them. You have control of how long you stay in the conscious mind and be mindfully present of all of the stuff going on around you. You have control over your breath. You have control over your reactions and your responses. We are not here to fix anyone else. We have to work on our own stuff. And in working diligently on our own stuff, we are helping to fix many things, known and unknown. We just make the world a more pleasant place. And for those of you who are going through things that may not seem as insanely reporting as maybe someone else, don't let that hit your self-worth, because just having breath in your cells is all the energy you need to make a difference. Your flashlight, your heart center, your column of light has a job. And it's going to do its job better if you can keep the vibrations a little more disentangled between all the other things. It's time to take back your commander seat and own yourself. And be okay starting from scratch and detaching from all the antennas and the particles that have been all over you that maybe you didn't choose for them to be. And it's okay to do a 360 or 180. It's okay to stand still. There's no right or wrong learning here. As long as you say, I am willing to learn. I'm willing to listen to all the information that is pertinent to me in this moment. Don't let it be overwhelming and distracting. That is where you may need some more order in your life. And so, we're coming into the spring equinox, equal day and night. So we're coming into warmer weather in a lot of the northern hemisphere here. And so it is going to be time to open the windows up and clean the windowsills and clean the windows and clean our skin, clean our minds, clean our hearts, clean out stuff, right? Dust and clean from the house, and the house being kind of on lockdown, which is what we've been for a period of time. So it doesn't matter how you got here, right? That doesn't need to beat yourself up. What does matter is if you've got stuff, beebity boppity boo, going on up in here that you may and may not be aware of, or things that are happening that you're not sure if you're truly grounded and you're getting the correct information, or you're translating it, or you even understand that it's communication. Doing regression sessions are very, very helpful. And I also, in the sessions that I do, because I'm trained in a different bunch of modalities, is I then turn it over to you to start checking in with the me, myself, and I of you. And so it's helping to empower and self-empower and teaching you that you own all the rights to your commander seat. No one else owns those rights. It's the God source of I am, of all that I am. So you own those rights. And so stop giving them away and letting people suck them out of you and waking up one day and going, what the heck is happening? Let the emotions come up. Because as you open the heart center, it will open the floodgates. And it can be in, being irritated and agitated, right? It can be in the form of actual tears. It's the body trying to unwind and untwist itself from all the stuff that has locked it down. So you're kind of taking it back from all of the pre-injuries, right, into basic good homeostasis, where all the bumps and bruises and bangs, you're dissecting those and moving those out of the way so that this is all that it can be in the here and now, and that you can find some happy points and some regeneration spaces as you begin to filter and weed out what no longer serves you. All right? And we all know we got to get rid of the old to make room for new, right? Get rid of the old to make room for new. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So you can decide what's a keeper, what's a giver, what's a trasher, what doesn't serve. Whoop, gotta dissolve that. I don't want anybody having that and experiencing that. So these are the things that you have to begin to work on in order to shed, literally shed, all the stuff that doesn't need to be here anymore. It doesn't need to be here. It's no longer a protective mechanism. You've got to let all that go and trust your commander seat. You do. I'm telling you. And when you get a taste of that, ooh, doggy. Oh my goodness. You will be able to forge forward and pioneer through things that you didn't think you could do, or maybe a deep desire to do, and now it's more graceful and presents itself in so many different ways that it just falls and clicks right into place. So let your emotional body empty out. Get the spring cleaning going. And if I can help you on this journey, goodness gracious, my stuff's always in the description. embodimentofthesoul.com. Email me directly for an appointment. info@embodimentofthesoul.com. So much love. So much love. It's there. It's all there. And it's all yours. It's all yours. You don't have to deserve it. You don't have to do good deeds to get it. It's yours. Own that commander seat and start maneuvering through all the higher vibrations of love and joy and bliss, and happiness, and clear it for the collective as you clear it for yourself. All right, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'm so happy to be back. And I'll see you on the next video.